Hello, hello, hello. Well, if you see pink nails, you know it's Belinda. It was advertised at me tonight. Hello, Teresa. Hello, Philippa. Hello, those of you who are in the house already. Brian is in the house. Guten Abend. Belinda und alles. So, Brian's mom was German, so that's why he has some German sayings. Hello. Is that Iona? Hello, Iona. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So you will see that I have, hello, Ali. Yay, Ali's in the house. Ali will be drawing the prize winner later, and that is what is on my desk. So I have from our good Sarah 2 prizes that we will be giving away tonight. One will be for Facebook and one will be for YouTube. Good evening, Vanessa. Hi, Steph. And what Sarah has done, it's already live on the website. The links are in the chats already. So if you don't win it, you can still buy it for £10 each. So she has put very generously these 2 together, because these little fish and these little fish are the same, so they work really nicely together. That's what I do when I design things. I design things to work together. So this will be a prize, and you can also buy it instead of, now let me see if I can actually work the backstage as well. So what we have here is, instead of it being £26.98, it is now £10. So you can actually buy this right now. And this is valid until Friday, the 25th of October, till midnight UK time. Okay. I have to specify that because we do have people who watch from all over the world. So that is UK time, midnight, Friday, the 25th. So valid from now. Then we have a second special, and that is on my stamps together with the Timeless Treasures tags. And again, it's down from £27.98 to £10. And that is what I have on my desk. So I have got my stamp set here together with this. These are gorgeous little tags that you can either just use as is and write on the back, put some pretty ribbon through and put them on gifts, or you can add rub-ons and stamps and decorate them, or add these to your projects. So this is a great set, and again, this is also one of the prizes for tonight. So hi, Caroline. Hi, Vanessa. Yes, they go so well with the whale that you used on your journal page. Absolutely. So that is our prize tonight. I always like to get all the admin out of the way. Yes, thanks, Ali. Got it. There will be 2 giveaway winners. So one for Facebook and one for YouTube. And the winners will have to contact Sarah once they're announced at the end of the live at about in an hour's time. So I thought, for those of you who just wanted to see some quick ideas from the first giveaway, what I have got here is my art journal. And so those of you who don't win, who'd still like it, you get it for £10 today. This is using that stamp set, and I have decorated the background with my sprays. I think no, this one I didn't do as a live, but I quite often use them as a live. Hi, Kerry. Hi, Angela. Hi, Sue. Welcome. This is a second one. Now here I used the stencil. It is a 2-part stencil. So in the one stencil, the fishies are swimming this way, and in the other stencil, the fishies are swimming the other way. They're designed to overlap, so you get this movement. You could, of course, use them on their own. Here I used the very lush pastes, Stella pastes in the background. If you do use them back to back like this, I do suggest that you put, there's that wax that you can get from Tim Holtz. I did explain it on another live. I have covered one of my pages in that so that they don't stick together, because I do find under pressure, sometimes they stick together. They don't always. It's just the luck of the draw. Here is the whale again, used on another page. Good evening, Nicola. Just got in from yoga, ready to be inspired, new to journaling, and loved the last one. Well, welcome. Journaling is great fun. I tend to like to do a lot of layers. So in this one, I have got a stencil in the background. I've got some background stamping. I've got another stencil. I've got a third stencil. And then I have stamped this on a piece of watercolor paper, cut it out and stuck it on. So I like to do a lot of layers, stamps and stencils. This is from my Safari crew. And here we have the Aquatica again. And here what I did with this, I'm going to see if I can get it to catch the light. There, maybe. There we go. This fishy's catching the light here by my thumb. I put this clear dabber embossing through it. And then I put clear embossing powder on to act as resist. So that's what I did on this page. And then I put the stencil in with color over the top. Hi, Maz. Nice to see you here. Hi, Tamar. Creative Treasures is Tamar over in YouTube. Yes, microglaze, Teresa, is what I used over the top of these guys to stop them sticking to the other one. So quite right, that was microglaze. Yeah, I just thought I would show you ways to use what you could win or what you could buy at a very special deal. So that is a huge saving of 16, 17 pounds. So get your hands on it now before they sell out. This is my Woodland crew, and then blank, yet to be done. So I thought I would show you those because that's what I used for those pages. Of course, you can use them for cards and lots of other things. So there we go. Moving on to what I'm going to be doing tonight. And so I thought I would show you first a whole bunch of samples. So let's bring those into picture. I will be using the Christmas collection because, of course, I know we are in what I call the scary season. We're in Halloween season, but a lot of people are starting to prepare for Christmas. And hi, Catherine. You keep running late and getting called away, but hello. Yes, we take it. Hello. Oh, thanks, Vanessa. The paper on the journals is a really nice quality. In this particular journal, it handles a lot of liquid. So this is my journal that you can also find over on the Funky Fossil website. Dawn doesn't know about microglaze. Let me see if I can reach mine without causing a catastrophic craft launch. We'll go probably here. So microglaze is by Judy Kins. It's basically like a waxy substance. I actually keep this in here. It's a applicator sponge, and I use it to apply it so I don't get it all over my fingers and under my nails. And Tim Holtz has his own one. It's by the same company, but yeah. So this stuff is amazing stuff for sealing things. So hi, Sophie, welcome. Timeless Tradition papers are awesome. Yes, they really are. So I'll be showing you the pad, but I just thought I would start with a couple of samples that I've done with the Timeless Tradition papers. So I've made this into a shaker using a little dome. I've made it to look like it's Mom, there's nothing I can do about the sound. Mom says sound is rough. There's nothing I can do about that. So if anybody's having sound issues, I suggest you go out and come back in. That sometimes fix it. So yes, I know the tags are really pretty. No worries that you're late, Helen. Fiona's also just come in. So oh no, Fiona's dog knocked her coffee over. with his tail. Yes, we have a cat that we call, well, you know a lot, but you know him as the supervisor. Oh, just see, I've got that microglaze all over my thumbnail. Let me just get rid of that. We call my cat's tail the monkey tail because he will drag his tail like a hook over a table as he walks past, and he will knock things over with it too. So, yes, and I was even with the foam pad in there, but thankfully it was just on my nail, not under it. Yes, I am. Me and Shakers also have a bit of a love-hate relationship. What these are, in fact, it'll be in German. So Brian, you would understand it, but these are actually for packaging. They're quite shallow, and so I haven't put foam tape or anything between these. I have glued this straight to the layer below and then put the second layer on top. So there's no escaping for these things. And also I have put beads in mine and some silver charms, some metal charms. So they're quite chunky. So there's no way, you can see that I've got two, probably there's more under there. See, they are wanting to escape out the bottom, but they can't. So I have some of those lovely, no, I can't think of the name, the flat thing, sequins. So I made this with the rub-on. So that is a rub-on onto the plastic blister that I used here. And so the rub-ons go onto the paper and they go beautifully onto plastic and glass. So that's what I wanted to show you as an idea. Here sitting in the corner, I've got another one of the rub-ons on one of these. These are two-part Christmas ornaments that you can buy. I can buy these throughout the year in my craft shops here in Germany and quite a few places in Europe. And I know, so if you're wanting to do this kind of thing as Christmas gifts, it's probably a good idea to look for them now. These are not the full-on balls. These are what are called medallions. So they're not, you know, the full circle. When you look at them from the side, they're a bit shallower. Thank you, Teresa, for liking and sharing. So, yeah, I have put fake snow and some, that one looks like an Easter egg. I think it's an odd-shaped ball that got into my set. These are polystyrene balls that are covered in glitter, so I've put that inside. And yes, it's very easy to even get them onto a curved surface. So although it's not flat, you can still work onto a curved surface with these rub-ons. They really go beautifully. So Hobbycraft have them in stock for Christmas. Nice to know. Thank you. Then while I'm talking about the rub-ons, so I can show you my rub-ons, but they are they have been used well and truly. So that one will come out of there. So there are 4 sheets of rub-ons in a pack. There are A5 sheets. And there are so many different designs. I'm in love with rub-ons. I use them here. You've seen me do this before in my journal where I use the rub-ons as a resist. So this was onto a craft piece of piece of paper that I cut into a tag. And I put it down first and then rubbed over the top, and it has acted as a resist. Then this is a piece of fabric. So it's an actual piece of fabric there. I've done more rub-ons over there over the top of the ink. Just always make sure that your ink is absolutely dry before you put your rub-ons down, because it does not like to stick to wet surfaces, and not a lot of things do, and rub-ons in particular. So here I have rubbed this down. It's the same design. I have rubbed it down onto a piece of fabric. So they are very flexible. You can see they don't crack or anything because, yeah, they are just really, really great. So you could even put it on little bags, gift bags, that kind of thing. And of course your art journals. So you love the distressed tartan. Yes, really good. So The rub-ons look great. Thanks, Angela. Yeah, they really are fabulous. So I wanted to show you those three. Then I have two samples here. And again, I've actually used a sneaky rub-on over there because I took a piece of the paper, which has the two pieces of holly on them. And I think I've got the leftover sneaking over here. And I've actually used it sideways. So you would normally use it that way up because candles don't work sideways. But I wanted the holly, the top and the bottom, and then the middle. So I've used a rub on there to balance those. And this is from my set of stencils that went with my stamps. So I will use this for something else. And here I have used the delicious glitter paste, Stella paste, through my tree stencil, and I have cut it out and put it on top of the papers. What I've done for both of these is I have actually used the washi tape. So I have popped, this one is on black cardstock, so I have popped a second piece of paper inside for you to be able to write on. And I've used washi tape even on the black cardstock. So remember, no matter what color you put it on, it will affect, because these are slightly translucent. So it will affect whatever color you put on there. So this being on white cardstock, you know, you don't have to put an extra piece of paper in. And I see my bow is coming undone. Deal with that later. So then that is a rub-on that I have done as a saying. So if you want to look back, I think I did these two cards as a live. What I have in mind for tonight is I am going to be using the Timeless Traditions paper on a canvas. And I want to create a little bit of a three-dimensional project. So it's just a normal skinny canvas, okay? Oh, thanks, Anna. Yes, the trees on the tree are lots of fun. And in fact, I have something to show you. So let me just, while I'm distracted. So this is the washi tape on cream. And so, of course, the cream is shining through, and that is it on black. So you can see the difference. You can still see it on the black. It looks lovely, but it looks really rich. But it's much brighter on a lighter color. And because I put it on the cream, they look really warm and lush. And so here is an example of my stencil. So it's an open stencil with the gears. And then I have a second stencil, which is just the trees, which I'll show you like this. So what I did with this one is there is just the stencil. Should I show you that one? It's the right way up. And then I have turned it backwards and forwards, you know, upside down, and I've created a continuous pattern. So you could even create wrapping paper like this. And so what I did is I layered this one through. Let's get that other piece back. Where did I put it now? Through that stencil. So I took the open stencil of the tree and I layered it over the top. So that's what I did to get that. So that is those. So I've done these to show people how, you know, you do the yellow base, then you take your green, which you put over the top. So that's what it would look like on its own. And then if you layer them, that's what you get. I have done the same. I have a second stencil with this range, and it is for Christmas ornaments. So I have done this one with the shadowing on the left-hand side, and then that one and that over the top. So you can use it on its own. You can use that as a circle for something else, but it has the two bits that create the top of the ornament, or you can use it without that. So, and then this one just gives you some different colorways. So this is with the same base, but with the red, green, and then black for some contrast. And of course, the delicious Stella paste. You can see how shiny they are. So this, of course, I had to wait for this to dry. So I first did a layer of Stella paste in the gold, let it dry, and then I overlaid the second one and I used the green Stella paste. So that is Super, super sparkly. Hello, Sarah Lou. Oh, thanks, Julie, for sharing. It's always great to let people know that we are live. So that is how I have used my stencils. So what I have left to show you before I start on my project is these are the stamps colored up. So I have part of the special. So remember, you got to be in it to win it. So commenting on YouTube and Facebook will give you the opportunity to be in it. Ali will choose a winner at the end of the live. These are the stamps that you can win. And then, as I said, they are also on special together with the tag set for £10 tonight. So you get these two for £10 instead of 26 something, 27 something. So these are then colored up. So I'm just going to bring that up to the camera so it can focus slowly. So this is the Christmas ornament stamp. Then this is the hot air balloon with the little car, the jalopy, the vintage car. Then we have the I call it the electronic Christmas tree because it's kind of it's got a lot of different electronic gadgets and widgets, and I guess what makes lights work ultimately. My version of a steampunk tree. And then the snowflakes. So the snowflake on its own looks like that, and of course you can stamp it in any color you like. And then I'm a great one for using my Brother Scan and Cut. So I've always designed things with a solid outline so that they can be scanned with the Brother Scanner and cut out. And that's what I have done here. So on this one, you can see I have cut right on the object. When I say you can see that sort of dark outline there. And on this one, I have given it and I'm frozen. Why am I frozen? Maybe I need to give it some juice. I need to just plug in my phone. Sorry, I forgot to do that before the live. I'm back. So, sorry, it'll just wiggle a bit as I give it some juice. There we go. So this one I cut with a border. So what do I mean by border? So like this. So you can either with your brother choose to cut on the line. Let's find a Christmas tree that has been cut on the line. That would make a great comparison, but of course I've probably used it for everything. Yeah, okay. Here's the snowflake cut on the line. And then here's the snowflake cut off the line. And here I've actually just taken the Stellus paste and spread it over the top to make it all sparkly. Hello, Melanie. Yeah, it did freeze for a second. I don't know what happened to my internet, but I'm back. I'm back. So what I wanted to show you is I actually don't throw these outside pieces away. I keep them to use as masks. So here you can see the gray and here you can see the gray. And that is what I have used on these two. Let me turn them so they're both in the shot. So this one, I've gone inside. So, and here I've created the halo around it. And then I've just used one of the enamel dots in the middle to make it shiny and sparkly. So, typical hoarder. Yes, I keep everything. And I use these as, so you can actually see it there where it doubles up. You can see the border. So I want you to tidy up after I finish crafting. No, Sophie, we wouldn't force you to do that. So what I am going to do is tidy up my desk. I'm going to push back and clear everything to the basket of things next to me to give myself some space. So I am going to be doing a canvas for tonight. So I've left myself with 35 minutes. Nothing like a time constraint. So this is an 8x8 canvas. And I am wanting to create a 3D project, something a bit different for the card makers and art journalists out there. So Tonight is going to be a bit different. I'm going to pick a background from the Timeless Traditions. I also have in mind, when I say three-dimensional, I'm going to create some sort of branch at the top for my ornaments to hang from. So I have these ornaments. So I've got 1, 2, 3 that are acting as ornaments, and I want to hang them on a branch. So what I have got is I have bought a whole roll, so a long roll of Christmas tree branch, and I have cut myself a piece just using my Timmy scissors, just these scissors to cut it. This one I see has come pre-decorated. Too funny, this stuff hooks on everything. So we have some skinny tinsel there, and I've cut enough so that it can go right around my canvas and be stapled on back. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to give this a haircut because it's a little bit long for the size canvas, so that will get a haircut. I also have, just so it can give you some ideas, I have some of these. Okay, I have 2 different kinds here of, again, some plastic fake branches, and I think I bought them either at our Euro shop, or they really weren't that expensive. You get them in the different kinds. You get them quite bushy and pale, and I have stapled those onto a project before. So those are different options, and then not only but also I have, oh, good morning from Australia. Hi, Jason. Nice to see you here. I have these 2 options, which I actually think are too big for this canvas. If I was doing a 12 by 12, I would probably put these on, but I'm not. Yes, Sarah is saying, Sarah lives in the UK. She can get them in Poundland. So yes, I think all over the world, they are available. And Jane's asking, Teresa, do you wake up in the morning with things stuck to you? I'm not sure. Yes, Teresa's just tidied her desk and brought stuff to clean bed. Okay, so I had to go back in the chat and ask. So yes, Poundland, it's like our Euro store, and I guess it's a bit like the American dollar store. So I really like these, but they are rather too big for this particular project. So 12 by 12 would be great. So moving right along, I want to look for a background that I think would work. So I'm going to just flip through. I'm probably tempted to go with the tartan, so I'm going to pull that out. I love this tartan. And the other one that I absolutely love, that I know I've used it in the first, so this is what I used for the card. They're all just so gorgeous, but this is a bit busy for what I want. A wreath. I mean, so many of these almost don't need anything. I could probably just stick this on a canvas with some nice pretty bows and perhaps some stenciling with some lovely glittery paste, Stella paste. Oh, here's a second tartan. Now, which one do I want? Okay, we'll pull both of them out. So I'll have both of those to choose from. So now we're back to the beginning. I haven't found my wood, so we just keep going until I get to, there we go. So that is what I'm looking for. I love this red wood. So I'm gonna, oh no, don't do that. Because I'm trying to not tear from the camera. Okay, we'll just look for another one. There we go. There are 3 of each design. Okay, let's do that a little bit more civilized. There we go. Don't rush, Belinda, don't rush. So You wish there's a whole paper pad of tartans. I get you, Nicola, I get you. But remember, there are 3 of each, so that's 6 tartans in there. Should hang a bauble from the middle of the wreath paper. Exactly, you could. You really, there's so much you could do. So my canvas is clearly a little bit smaller than 8x8. So we're going to have to trim that down. And the idea is that I'm going to use this one will be too narrow, I think. It'll just fit on the edge. No, we won't use the green one. So I'm left with the wood or the other tartan. Is it too much tartan if I use the top? Okay, so I'll tell you what we do. We're going to go with tartan on the edge and the wood grain on the background. So let's get going. Yes, they are really pretty papers and tapes. They really, really are. So I'm just going to cut that thread. I usually tear the tape so it makes an interesting edge, but for this, I'm going to start. I'm going to have to do it in angles so that you guys can see because I've got my camera very close to my desk. So I'm going to go over the edge. And what I'm also going to do is I'm going to add a bit of glue because I want to make sure that this doesn't come unstuck later. The nice thing about washi tape is it is low tack, but I want it to be permanent. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue and I'm going to do it as I go. So I'm going to put a little line of glue along this edge, down the middle of the canvas like so, and then on the back. I find anything that is self-adhesive over the years wants to come loose, so I like to just give it a bit of a helping hand and stick it in place. So I'm going to just turn this. Let's get this so that you can see and I can see. I want to get it in the middle of the canvas edge, and then I'm going to wrap it around. So like so. Is that enough at the top and the back? Yes. And then I'm going to stick it so, and I'm very close to the camera, get a bird's eye view of what I'm doing. And on the corners, I'm going to miter them. So I'm just giving it a 45-degree angle. So I need to stick that like that. Now I can add more glue. My glue dispenser, Vanessa, is my Sweet Petunia. It is the Nuvo glue inside, and it is especially designed for Nuvo glue, and it comes with this extra fine nozzle plus a second nozzle, and it has a special stand, so while you're working you just drop it in the stand and then it doesn't block. So in fact I'll just pop it on the screen so it looks like that, and you just drop it into its stand. And so now I'm going to pull more tape, get it in the middle, and squash and squish. So I'm going to squish back in the front, and then I'm going to squish down. So squish the top, and just it doesn't really matter if you're not absolutely straight, because well, I'm going to be covering this front bit with paper. It just would be nice if I did go straight. Sarah Lou is saying that this is an absolute game changer, especially if you have hand issues. It's really good because squeezing, I mean, you are squeezing a trigger, but it does make crafting so much easier. So let's pull a length of that and get it straight. And squash at 45 and 45. because I'm just, of course, when you're not having to do it, I mean, you're doing this at home and you're not having to keep it in the camera, it's a lot easier. So there we go. Last bit around the corner. And at the back. And then I can cut that piece off. And I'm just going to cut it at that end. So now I have a nice edge, courtesy of my washi tape. That's why I like these wide ones, because they are great for borders and edges of things. So that's that done. Not sure how you would like me using glue. Rather messy work, and apparently I leave a trail of debris around the house. Oh, shame, Nicola. Well, I must say, this glue is, I think you're talking to somebody else who was gluing stuff in bed. So now we have that framed. Okay. Now I'm going to put my background on, and I just need to trim it ever so slightly smaller. So I need my pencil, and I'm actually going to do this on the back because then I can see. Because the nice thing about these papers is they're single-sided, so you don't actually have to choose a side. And when it comes to measuring like this, so I'm just going to do that. Then you can see your measurements. So I'm just going to use a guillotine. You won't see the whole thing on screen because I have a normal huge A4 guillotine. So I'm just going to chop the edge off there. Let's make sure we're straight. And Nicola says her husband is chief vacuum cleaner. Without her, Deborah, there's nothing for him to do. Well, you keep him busy then, Deborah. You keep him busy. Oh, wait, no, that was Nicola. That was Nicola, sorry. Okay. You can actually leave it like this for days and days and days. It doesn't, because there's a rubber bung down there, you can actually leave it like that. When I'm not crafting, I do tend to put its lid on, and the lid has a little pin in it, so it keeps it open. It does get blocked occasionally, but that's usually when I've been a bad crafter and left it lying on my desk for a little bit before I put it in there. So I've never needed to rinse the nozzle, Dawn. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just use my distress ink, and I'm just going to give this a bit of a frame. So that my edge of my paper is all nice and dark. I personally always like to have a dark edge. It tends to hold everything together. And I now have 20 minutes to color up my ornament. So what I'm going to do is that's going to be my base, and I'm going to glue that down. So you can see how quick and easy it is to make really interesting home decor even with these papers and washi tape. I'm just putting glue everywhere. Okay, so Catherine, I would change your glue. It sounds like your glue bottle might have lumps in it. I don't think it is the nozzle. Yes, you need to be careful what glue, because it does come with a separate glue nozzle. You can put an empty bottle. You can put your own glue in. So just be careful what you put in it. Right, so now that is ready to go. I'm going to stand that up there. Okay, now I have these three that I'm going to put as ornaments hanging from my tree branch. And let's see, so I have a red background, so I'm going to kind of go with yellows and goldy colors to make them pop off the background. And I am going to use, sorry, I'm just standing up. I'm going to use some alcohol markers to get some quick color down as a base for these. And then I'm going to use some watercolor pencils over the top. Peapod's husband calls her a paper trail. Yep, I can quite get that. So I'm going to start with this one. So I have got two different types, and in fact I've chosen the same one. So one has a skinny nozzle, one has a chisel nozzle. I have another brand that has a brush nozzle. So I'm going to start with the skinny nozzle, and I'm going to nib. He's so busy talking about glues that I'm talking about nozzles instead of nibs. So I'm going to color, I'm going to go with the skinny nib up to the edge. So now what I have found with these alcohol markers is it's best to not stamp and then try and color straight away, because the ink, remember your permanent ink, so I've stamped with a permanent ink. This is VersaFine Clear. It is alcohol. You can clean your stamps with alcohol. So alcohol and freshly stamped stamp is not a good combination. So I've done a few tests. It's best to leave them at least 24 hours, and then you won't get the smudging. So I really like to use alcohol markers as a quick way to get coverage. Sophie is asking, what is the best glue to use for card making and mixed media? So card making, I would use any of the white glues, so craft glues. Because you don't need something that is very bulky. For mixed media, I would use a gel, because when you're talking mixed media, it is usually something along the lines of you are gluing something more bulky down, like a resin piece, or metal embellishments or objects, wooden objects. So I would use a gel medium for that. So you can see why I like these alcohol markers, because they give you a nice, bright, instant, solid base, and then you can work over the top. So I quite often will have an evening where I sit and stamp and get my brother out and sit and cut. If you don't have a brother to fussy cut for you, that's a brother scan and cut, that is, then you can sit and fussy cut them yourself. So, and once you've done that, then you leave them to dry for a minimum of 24 hours before you start using any alcohol marker. So now I'm going to close this nib and I'm going to get the bigger one out. I am working on 300 GSM cardstock. So you have to taste your papers with alcohol markers, because thinner paper, they will bleed outside the line, which is fine if you're going to be cutting them out. So it all depends on how you are going to be using your stamped image. If you're using it as is, like mine is already with the outside edge, it would be a problem if it bled. So That is also something to be aware of when you are using alcohol markers. Right. Okay, people are still talking about the glues. Okay, missed anything? Sorry, I like to just check and see. Okay, so I'm going to put a little bit of this there. That is a bit dark, so I'm going to immediately come and blend it in. So now I need a little bit on this side. Not being terribly careful with it because I'm going to take the yellow and I'm going to mix. I think I'm actually going to switch to my I need to put some of this on the side, so I'm going to put the thick one on the side. Now I'm going to switch to my pencil crayons at this point because I want a little bit more control. So there we go. If you haven't been in one of my lives before, I always put my, no, I've mixed my, that's my yellow, this is my orange. I always put my shadow on the left-hand side so that I don't have to think. So we always have the light from the right, which rhymes. Okay, so light from the right, people. Light from the right. Let's get nibs on, and then shadows on the left. So light from the right, then you don't have to think. And that way, it doesn't matter what project you put them on, it will always work. Okay, so now let's get, oh, look at me with my, what color are you? So that is orange. Let's do a trade. Ah, silly Billy. Right. Time to get my tiny pencils out, and I have actually put them in this nice zip-up case, and I am going to need my oranges. So let's go this way. Right. Let's take. Maybe I'll like my red. See what I've done? I've done them so they continue. So let's take some red. And let's maybe have some orange. And then I need my water brush. So what I do like to do, you can either color straight onto your image, okay, and do the shading that way. So you can just use normal pencil crayons. So you can use these watercolor pencil crayons as normal pencil crayons. I'm going to try and have these inside bits of the air balloon a bit darker. And let's fade this out a bit. And then with water, you can dilute them. So I'm going to put a little bit of red along that edge just to get a little bit more depth and shadow. And we will go a little bit more red in here. And then, of course, because we can't have shadows on the side and not some shadow in the yellow, I'm going to bring some onto that. And let's have a little bit of red on this edge. So you can see that these color up really quickly and easily. And now I'm going to grab my water brush. So what I use, you can absolutely use a normal paintbrush. I would use, I'm just looking for one that's not. So I would use a fine tip brush just with water as a normal paintbrush. These ones have a barrel, so there is water in the barrel, and as you work, it comes out the nib. And these come in lots of different sizes. So what I tend to do is I color from, when I'm using my watercolor brush, I go from light to dark. So I'm going to start here and I'm going to push the color away till I reach the red. Then I'm going to have a piece of paper towel because I will have the red on there now. I need to clean that off. And then I'm going to do the same going that way. Clean it off. Because if I started straight onto that yellow without cleaning that off, I would drag the red, and make a big red streak. So there we go. So now that gives a nice graduation of color. And we'll do the same over here. So I'm doing the orange first. I just like to add the water on top of my watercolor pencil crayons because it smooths out the color. So you don't see the pencil strokes. And now I'm going to do the orange that I put on there to give that some dimension. And let's do the last guy. So sometimes, like, that's very dry now. So sometimes what I do is I have to give it a bit of a squeeze. But notice I put it over my hand because I don't want great drops of water falling where I don't want them. So there we go. So we take a little bit up there and down there. And I'm going to use what's on my brush and I'm going to just put that in the window of the car. And in fact, sometimes you can actually grab some color off the pencil. I want the windows to be darker than the car. Because I'm putting it on the red background, I want the windows to be red. Great stuff. So, right. Let's pop that away for now. And let's just see. Running out of surface space. How about the floor? Let's see where we're going with this. So the idea is that we're going to have the ornaments hanging from the branch. So the branch is going to be at the top, like so. And then we will have ornaments. Let's make some more space so I can have the full thing on the screen. There we go. So at this stage, I might or might not cut. I might give my tree a trim, a pruning. I'm going to leave the white on for now. It does make them pop off the background. I usually don't have this white background. So I'm in 2 lines. I start with the white background. I can always cut it off. I guess if I had cut it off and I decided it needed a white background, I could layer it up on some white paper and then add a background. So next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my hole punch. Now I have a few different sizes. That one's quite large. Just going across my studio quickly to see what other sizes I have. I have ridiculously small and then I have medium. So I think I'm going to start with medium, especially with this tree. So I'm going to pop the hole inside the hole. Let's try and line that up. Easier said than done. Okay, let's go slightly more this way. Okay. There we go. So we have a hole there. This one, probably a little small for this guy. So I'm going to go with a bigger hole. Got more than enough. That worked perfectly. And on this one, I'm probably going to go with a bigger hole as well. So I'm going to turn them into proper, real ornaments. And well, thanks. Oh no. Yeah, it does. I like the car and the balloon. It's just something different. Instead of a basket, I decided it's steampunk and they wouldn't have anything normal. Steampunks don't do normal. So now I'm just going to get my ribbons out. I want my, sorry, scratching for ribbon. I'm trying to decide if I want to have gold. I think gold strings would work quite nicely. And also, what about some tinsel on my tree? So maybe if I put some tinsel around the tree branch, that would work. I can also overlap these, so I can have this one looking like it's behind that one. You know, you don't have to have them all hanging, you know, at equal heights like that. You can build a little bit of depth. You could even put this one on some foam tape and have it raised up. I could also just dull this white edge a little bit because it's screaming at me and I don't necessarily want quite such, and I will come back and it's okay. Let's just knock that back so that it's there but not in your face. That works better for me. Dog is being totally distracted by a flying point. Inside you out. Oh dear, Steph. Sorry about that. Welcome back. I'm just knocking back this white because it is just in my face. So, okay. And now I need a craft knife because I don't like all of that white. So what I'm going to do is, and I have 4 minutes, people, 4 minutes. The challenge is real. I did too much yakking at the beginning. So Sarah and I don't like to keep you all evening. But I wanted to show you what I had already prepared using my stamps and stencils and things. And now we are making a project. So let's just trim that out. Oh, thanks, Angela. Goth steampunk. There's much difference between goth steampunk and steampunk, to be honest. I know in the UK they have a goth event to which a lot of steampunks go dressed as steampunks. And it's kind of a bit of a crossover in some cases. Teresa's always been tempted by the crocodile. Don't often use a hole punch, so never decided if I should. The crocodile has a lot more to it. It's not just a hole punch. It is also an eyelet setter, and it can punch through incredibly thick things like chipboard. So, in my opinion, it is definitely worth its weight in gold, and believe me, they are heavy. So now this is going to be interesting because now I'm going to want to get in there a little bit too. It cuts leather, it cuts so many things. I have a crocodile. There are different ones. Let's do a little bit of research, speak to friends who have one. They are definitely worth it. I mean, I have a whole bunch of these guys, probably by the end, a crocodile. Okay, so now I'm happier with that one on its thing. And let's see what happens when I add some tinsel. Unfortunately, I don't have this in gold. I think gold would also be very nice. So let's just wrap. Let's start this way because the tree branch seems to be growing that way. So let's just wrap some tinsel around the tree branch and just see if then it still needs trimming. This was just from the dollar shop, so nothing terribly expensive. Let's just see. I like that. It's also starting to look a little bit more Christmassy. Yes. Okay. So I will be staple gunning that, and I don't think it needs trimming. Now I need enough string to go through my ornament and to hang up there like so. Okay, let's so I'm going to stick that through there. Probably should stick these first, but I'll do that after the live because I want to be able to move them around a little bit. So I'm going to do it so that there we go. That one will look like it's hanging like that. I like the dimension. I'm going to have this one probably up there, something like that, or maybe down there. This one, let's have that one up there. Maybe even this one in front, and then I can have some sort of saying over there or something. Let's have a grouping. Okay, let's just group them for now. You'll see where you get the idea of where I'm going with this. Nicola's hubby also needed for crocodile duty. Yes, they are. You do need strong hands to set those eyelets. So again, I'm going to cut too much. And I'm going to run it through the tree, under the tree branch. That's the world in theory. Come here. Where are you? There we go. So, and tie it at the top. I will probably try and tie neat, tidy little bows later. Yes, they are still available, Hannah, and they are on special tonight. So let me show you what they are. So I've got Hannah asking about the steampunk Christmas stamps. So they are Festive Mechanica by me, Belinda. That is what they look like on the stamp set. Okay, and let me just remind you guys, let's go back over here to branding. We have a special on. So you get the stamp set and the tags for £10 until Friday, the 25th of October, midnight UK time. We then also have the Steampunk Aquatica set with the stencil, also for £10. So, and you even have a chance to win it tonight. So you've got to be in it to win it. So just by commenting here, you have the opportunity to win it. Ali will be choosing winners any minute because I'm almost done. So I need to, Ali, I can't check on my phone because I'm using my phone. So I will need you to put it in the comments, please. I know last time you messaged me dutifully like you do with Sarah, but I actually used my phone to go live. So I'm going to go there and then I'm going to go here. So I will pop some foam underneath there. Now, I used black craft foam. So just normal craft foam as pop dots. So I'm going to just cut piece. I'm probably going to layer up 2 pieces. So to give a lot of depth. So I will glue it off the live, but what I just want to show you what I do. Instead of using pop dots, I use craft foam. So that'll be big enough to go there. And for the little car, I'm gonna probably have to make it a bit smaller. Nope, that's enough. So to raise this up, I'm gonna glue them to each other. Pop them there. Pop them there. Great. Okay. So once I've decided where they're going to go, I will add drop shadows on the canvas. So let's just do that quickly. With the cutouts from my brother scan and cut. So I'm going to do a drop shadow round about there. So now I'm going to use the Funky Fossil brush with some black distress ink, and I'm going to create a shadow on the background. If you don't have a brother scan and cut, I will show you what I've done. You can just cut it with your scissors. So I've made, what I've done for myself here is I've just either used, you can poke a hole and then cut with your scissors in there, because I wanted a stencil for the stamp and for the star, and I wanted a stencil for the tree. So you could absolutely make your own. Now, when I pop this down like that, I will have a shadow. And let's do the circle. I'm probably going to have it over there-ish. So I need this lower down than the actual thing. Yes, okay, that'll work. Where's my... So you can make your own stencils from your stamps to be able to do these drop shadows. Okie dokie, so that'll go there like that. And then of course we have the, so now I'm just going to put a little piece of tape just to hold it in place. I've got some low tack tape here. Oh, Hannah, you need, where do you live? Sarah, who's in the chat, does the most. Sarah Seth gives lessons in England in person. She's amazing. Okay, and now I'm going to do a drop shadow because I want to see where am I going to do this. So I need a drop shadow over here. I'm going to have this, maybe I need it a bit further up because okay, so we'll have what I call the Sarah angle. I'm always teasing her about having an angle of things. So let's put the drop shadow there, and of course I need it on top of this one. I absolutely love my scan and cut. It's so incredibly useful for so many things. I always design my stamps so that they have a solid outline. If you have a stamp with a small gap, just take a marker and finish off the design. Right, so now that'll go there, and this will go here for the car, and then I'll tidy up the strings later. So now that looks like it is dropping a shadow. I need to push that up. I'll push that up. Now it'll look like it's dropping a shadow over there. Maybe I need a bit more of the shadow of the car's wheels. So let's just finish that off. A little bit more shadow there. There we go. So you see where I'm going with this. I will always put the finished project in the group, and maybe I'll put some little bows at the top there and so on. But that's it for tonight. I hope you enjoyed that. I don't always do journals, I do love doing journals, but I just thought tonight it would be fun to show you how you could take your stamps and your papers and you could make a 3D piece as a display piece for Christmas. You could even do these as gifts. Just a different way to use your stamps and papers. So, thanks, Patricia. I see you in the chat. So, Ali, can you please put the winners in the chat, both Facebook and YouTube, please? So, sorry, I'm just getting my mouse out over here, so I don't end. I nearly ended the stream prematurely. So I hope you enjoyed that, and yes, I will put the finished project up. Just something different for you crafters, to just stretch your concept, think outside of the box. Off the page is what we call these projects as well. And just it doesn't even take that long. You can see, other than the stamping that I had to do much earlier because I wanted to use the alcohol inks, really I did all of this right here in front of you, and I did a lot of talking at the beginning. So you know, these don't have to take us hours and hours and hours. Giveaway winners are Melanie Acinda Smith on YouTube and Mary Munro on Facebook. Okay, Ali, can you choose someone else? Mary Munro is my mother. Sorry. Mom doesn't need stamps. She can use mine. She's having such a laugh. So can you please choose somebody else? Sorry, Mom. I'll give you something else, Mom. She's saying she never wins anything and now she can't have her prize. So we just wait for the new winner. What can I give my mom? We'll have to think of something. Have to give Mom a prize of something else. Not sure what. Okay, so Hannah's saying that you gave birth to me, Mom, and she won't even let you have the stamps. She can have the stamps anytime. Yes, she can have the finished canvas. How about that, Mom? Tamar Perry is the Facebook winner. Woohoo! Oh, lucky Tamar. Okay, so Tamar Perry for the win. Okay, I must have misread that earlier. So, okay, I will. I'll end it there. So, congrats everybody, and Sarah will be in charge next week. Bye for now.